So I've played GTA 3, Vice City and San Andreas in the last couple of weeks and reviewed them on this channel. And if you now want to replay those games, you're going to have to get the trilogy, the GTA Trilogy, the definitive editions of those 3 games. And so now if you want to replay those games before GTA 6 arrives, this video is for you, because I'll tell you whether the trilogy of the 3 definitive editions is actually worth it in today's day and age. So let us start with the good things of the trilogy. First off, I gotta say that I didn't play any of those games beforehand, so it was my first time playing each of those games in 2025, and I gotta say, I already feel nostalgic as hell about the game. I cannot imagine how crazy the nostalgia must be for somebody who has played San Andreas, for example, in 2005, playing it 20 years later. And these 3 games basically build a foundation of GTA open worlds, but also open worlds in general. And when you talk about the earlier GTA games, especially Vice City and San Andreas are always talked about because they are great games, I gotta say. The definitive edition brings modern controls, better navigation and small upgrades in the graphics to make it more approachable today and for the younger generation as well. And I gotta say, each of those games tells a very iconic story, especially San Andreas, Vice City as well. You know, if you've seen my reviews, GTA 3, I was not the biggest fan of the game. It was a good game in my opinion, but it definitely had a lot of flaws and was not something I would definitely recommend to everybody to play. I was definitely much more a fan of Vice City and especially of San Andreas, which I also made a comparison of those 2 games. And each of those games tells a great story, especially San Andreas, man. That it really has much more depth than most modern games. And the cliffhangers, the betrayals, the characters that you meet, they're really quite special. And you don't see those characters and those stories a lot in modern games. And the stories alone really made the games so likable, in my opinion. They made the characters likable because they were very relatable, you know, not some heroes, but they were normal people that built themselves up. You know, you got GTA 3 with this silent revenge plot. Yes, the protagonist doesn't speak, which is I don't like that in any game, but well, Vice City has those great Scarface vibes, those Miami City vibes that really make those 80s shine. And just driving through Vice City, I'm so hyped for GTA 6, because seeing that open world with modern graphics in a bigger world, obviously with much more add-ons and much more territory, I mean, GTA 6 can't come soon enough. But I gotta say, the atmosphere of each of those 3 games is really spot on. GTA 3 has this kind of dark, gritty mode, you know, it is kind of based on New York, but very vaguely based. In Vice City, I've been to Miami, and you can already see some similarities, I gotta say. And the atmosphere is obviously completely different in that one, with those 80s Miami Vice vibe. But San Andreas, man, they really nailed the open world of that game. The atmosphere here is also completely different regarding in which region you are, because it obviously is split into 3 regions: Los Santos, Las Venturas and San Fierro, and also the terrain in between. And the open world, especially for games that old, I was very surprised by the open worlds of Vice City and San Andreas. I really like those open worlds very much, but you can see more about those things in my reviews. The soundtracks, I gotta talk about that. Obviously we got the main themes, especially Vice City's and San Andreas' themes are absolutely iconic, but the games don't really feature any soundtracks. In the beginning I was like, that can be weird, but it wasn't at all, because while driving around, and you drive a lot obviously in GTA, the radio stations, they make up for it. You have such an incredible selection of songs, of great songs. In GTA Vice City, it is, for example, you know, this perfect Scarface Miami vibe from the 80s. In San Andreas, you got everything from Los Santos radio, which is, you know, more rap, more hip-hop, but you also got country music. It's so great how they nailed the radio stations and how those songs alone really make the player not miss soundtracks at all. And I gotta say, this 80s Miami, 90s West Coast and early 2000 Liberty City vibe is really nailed by the songs that I meant. And I did actually miss a soundtrack, which for an absolute soundtrack fanatic like me was quite surprising. But now let's go to the bad stuff, the stuff that I didn't quite like in the trilogy. The first thing I gotta talk about are the technical issues. And these are very rare, but when they happen, they are quite nerve-wracking, I gotta say. I heard that at launch, the trilogy was infamous for bugs, crashes, awkward character models, and most of those bugs really have been patched. They have some issues that still remain. My games crashed 3-4 times, for example. Sometimes the characters didn't really move the way they should have, or some bugs where I couldn't get out of a car, for example. But all in all, I gotta say the bugs were manageable. It wasn't something crazy, but you still, when you play those games, it's not as if there will be no bugs at all. You will encounter those definitely, but still it is much better than it was at release. And now the game has very, I would call it, inconsistent visuals. What do I mean by that? I looked at the original games, the original 3 games, and the art style really changes quite much if you compare them. For people that want to replay the games, that might actually be a downgrade more than an upgrade, because they are known to this art style from the original. But now in Vice City, for example, it looks much different when you just look at the game and the open world than it looked in the original. For me, as a guy who's played the game for the first time this year, it was definitely an upgrade. But for guys that, want to feel that nostalgia, I don't know if it will be an upgrade, but that's definitely something that every single person needs to figure out for themselves. Obviously, I play a lot of clips in the background, so you can check it out whether it actually is an upgrade or downgrade for you. And another bad thing is that you cannot exclude any games from the trilogy. So if you buy the trilogy, you cannot, for example, just choose 2 of the 3 games and also pay 2/3. When you buy the 3 games, the trilogy, you will only be able to get the 3 games, so you cannot pick and choose which ones you like. If that will be the case, I would definitely recommend some and not recommend others, like you've seen in my reviews. But you can only buy the 3 games at once. And so if you don't want to play, let's say GTA 3 or GTA Vice City, you will still have to buy it, obviously, even if you don't want to play it afterwards. So now the verdict regarding the trilogy of the 3 definitive editions. Are they worth it? Honestly, for me, definitely. On sale. That's the point. The games or the trilogy costs $60 on Steam. Right now, for example, it's reduced to $20, which is a very, very good price for the 3 games. My problem, if you've watched my reviews, you know that I was not the biggest fan of GTA 3, for example. But I would definitely recommend San Andreas especially, but also Vice City. Those are definitely 2 great games that I would recommend to anybody who asks me if they should play them. But as I said, if you want to replay only 1 or 2 games, you can only buy the whole trilogy. But don't get me wrong, GTA 3 is a good game and you will definitely have a lot of fun, but it's just nothing special. I obviously played the game just for the case of it and see how it goes, because I've never played it. It is a good game and you'll have a lot of fun, but you will not be blown away like you will be by San Andreas, for example. And I gotta tell you, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into. This is not a complete remake of the games, it is a remaster, so expect a cleaned up, modernized way to play the 3 legendary GTA games, but obviously the graphics will still be outdated, you will have some bugs that you don't encounter in modern days, and the gameplay controls, like for example the shooting mechanics, will be very outdated, especially for modern standards. But if you're a newcomer for the games, like I was, this is definitely the easiest way to experience them compared to the originals. And also if you're a guy who has already played the originals, I would definitely encourage replaying those games, because especially the open worlds, I mean, just look at Vice City, it looks completely different than the original, and San Andreas also has made drastic changes in the visuals. So if you wanna replay the games, I would definitely recommend that you buy this trilogy on sale. But it will not be perfect though, and you cannot expect a complete remake, obviously. So I gotta tell you, all in all, I would definitely recommend the trilogy, especially the games Vice City and the best one for me, San Andreas. are worth playing 100% in today's day and age. GTA 3, still, I had a lot of fun. It it will not be completely boring. It's also a pretty short game, I gotta say, to be fair, 15 hours. And for the price on sale, like it is now for $23, it's a very fair price. I mean, you will have around 100 hours of a really good time, especially in San Andreas and Vice City. So if you want to go back to the roots or play the games completely from scratch, if you have never played or touched a GTA game, it will definitely be worth it and you will definitely have a good time. So all in all, I'll definitely recommend the trilogy, but as I said, buy it on sale. And what are your opinions on the 3 GTA games, GTA 3, San Andreas and Vice City? And have you also played the definitive editions? If so, tell me your opinions down in the comments and I'll be very happy to read those. Alright guys, that was it from me in today's video. I wish you all an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.